really there's no other drying option. It's the best one available. The kids are here. Little squeaky voices. Someone's gonna ask, invariably, how loud is this thing? So right now it is at, like pretty much right at 60 decibels. And what it's saying is it's an average or a quiet conversation. But it's $130, which to me is not that bad at all. I think it's actually really nice. In checking it out, I mean, the thing is well made, it's quiet, and I have opened this thing up to stick my finger in like so, and it's like pretty warm in there. It actually feels exactly like the sterile dryer that we use at work. So it's already, I can see definite signs of drying in spots where I was kind of thinking it wouldn't dry. So after an hour, I'm anticipating it being very good. But 135 bucks to have something that dries it quickly and effortlessly and sterilely, I think is a small price to pay if you're a CPAP user and are going to be one for several years to come. Especially since I do notice after reading some more materials, they have a warranty, limited warranty on it, which is always nice. And I do know that these guys have been around for quite a while, so I would anticipate that they're not going to be going anywhere. And really, in speaking with their one of the co-owners of the company, they haven't done any marketing. So, you know, honestly, I'm kind of surprised that this hasn't taken off more with some of the other things that seem to take off and get funding. It's kind of incredible to me when you have something that seems to be doing exactly what it says and is already made. So, all right, we'll be back in a minute once we get past the 15-minute mark. All right, it literally just shut off. I'm already seeing, I'm gonna hit it again for another 15. Listen to that baby purr. Yeah. All right, let's see, that's 30 minutes total. Turn it on again. I actually set up a time-lapse video. We'll see how that turns out. I just kind of wanted to show it as it's doing it maybe a little faster. Okay, just clicked off again. One more time. So time-lapse should show that there's quite a bit of drying. There is a bubble of water in here and it is now like super tiny. And then there, in the Quattro Air, and then in the Dreamwear, there was a line, and I don't actually have this set up optimally. You can kind of see the arm of the right there at the end of my finger is the Dreamwear. And tough to get into some of those spots, and I can see a big streak of water that was in there is now diminishing greatly. So I'm guessing after 15 more minutes, this should be entirely gone. We will see. We're at 45 minutes. It just clicked off again. I hit it again. So we're going for the magical time of 1 hour. All right, so something else I want to discuss as I'm watching this thing dry for the final stage is I have 2 young kids. I mean, they're not crazy young. One's 8 and one's 4, but I'm not so far out of that and so far removed from that I can't remember what it was like to have all the stuff by the kitchen sink. So we would have basically the nipples from the bottles, you know, we had the, what is it, the anti-colic tube, and I'm Dr. Brown's, I want to say it's Dr. Brown's, because they would, you know, it gets a lot of air in the belly and those are supposed to prevent it. So you have a little cap from that, then the spigot, the spout thingy that comes off of that, then you have the outer cap, the white thing, then you have the nipple on that, then you have the bottle. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 components out of this one bottle. And again, that's the Dr. Brown's one. But, you know, we'd have to wash and dry all these things. And so we had these racks and we'd have to put the bottles and stuff on it. So I'm thinking this, okay, instead of a basket in here, these guys are missing a huge market with parents who need to dry this stuff. Because before we just air dry it and hang it up to dry. And again, it takes forever for that stuff to dry. And the footprint of it was probably bigger than this because we had 2 racks. In the 2 racks, though the width was the same, probably came out another 2 to 3 inches. So no one's gonna see this because this is obviously set up for a CPAP demonstration of how to clean your equipment. But if you are a parent or you know people who have young babies and they're looking for something like this, I mean, sterile dryer for home use for 136 bucks. I mean, we paid way more than that on all kinds of other stuff. I think that's like a week's worth of diapers. So something a little better to clean the bottles faster because you go through them like crazy. If you're a parent, you know. This would be perfect for it. Maybe you need a different rack for it. Maybe not, just the metal basket's probably perfectly fine. But hey, just a thought, another huge market for these guys. And if that's something you're looking for as a parent, I really do wish I had one of these because it could stay right out there on the kitchen. It looks better than the racks that we had. I promise you that. So what do you think about that? Good for cleaning or good for drying baby bottles? I say yes. And the pacifiers when they drop them on the ground. I mean, obviously we're talking first child. First child, you want to clean it off, make sure it's sanitized, put it in the sanitizing dryer, right? Second kid, probably just wipe it on your pants. Talking third kid? Well, third kid, you just let the dog lick it off. All right, so I'm going to unfairly end this early. Why? My son and a friend are coming home from preschool and it's about to get real in here. So I'm going to go ahead and pull these out. It's probably been like 58 minutes out of the 60 that we were shooting for. Remember, we overstuffed this thing. The recommendations from SiestaMed is to only put 1 tube and 1 mask in there. You're also supposed to shake off any excess water and squeeze out the headgear if there's any water in there. We didn't do any of that stuff and we overstuffed it. So keep all of that in mind before we open this bad boy up. Right now it's doing it's off, but it's doing a cool down cycle. It'll let the fan go for another, I think it said 10 minutes or maybe 5 minutes to cool off any components and not damage it. So, hey, and it just turned off. So here we go. Let's take a look and see what is dry and what's not. So you can see this guy, the Dreamwear. I'm not sure how well this is showing up, but you can see there's no moisture in there. Headgear. Is that not the sound of dryness? This is actually warm. Nice and dry. This is just the frame, but the headgear, totally dry. I should note that it is humid as hell here today. Ah, this isn't dry. All right, this is one of those things I was concerned with because it should be plugged in. You know what? Trust, we're going against manufacturer, especially like way against it. This cushion for the Pico, totally dry. This cushion for the Dreamwear, totally dry. The tubing, I'm not sure. I'm gonna figure out if this is dry or not. It smells like delicious mask bright that I sprayed in there. Ah, the soft fragrance of an orange orchard. It smells like Tropicana and Donald Duck orange juice all combined. All right, so admittedly I was a jerk face when I tested this. Of all the stuff I packed in there, the one thing that I was concerned with, because it's a tube, it wasn't getting the proper airflow. Everything dried in less time than it was supposed to in humid conditions. To me, the SiestaMed Hurricane is well worth the 136 bucks. Really, there's no other drying option. It's the best one available. The kids are here, little squeaky voices. So please join my forum. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. Please like the video. Buy one of these things if drying is something that you need for your CPAP equipment, or baby bottles. Holy smokes, you hear these kids? All right, and if you would support me on Patreon, I would appreciate it. Patreon.com, freecpapadvice.com.